In 2024, the number one way to make money is by learning a high-value skill and building a reputation around it. By learning a skill that you love doing, you're building a source of money that you can tap into anytime, and it gets larger the more you invest in it. The returns from investing and learning in a skill like this are 10 times more than anything you could possibly find on the S&P 500, and today's high-value skills are not learned in college. Those are the skills that are falling behind. Today's high-value skills are learned over the internet, can be started at any age, and require just your focus and attention. And with a large number of different ones out there to learn, specifically the ones I'll be going over today, I'm sure you'll find something you connect with and resonates with you, so you can build your high value skill in something you love doing and start earning money like thousands of others. When it comes down to it, that's the most important part, that you enjoy doing the skill. If you enjoy doing it, it's going to be a breeze to learn, a breeze to do the work, and you'll find fulfillment in your earnings. So as I go through the skills today, keep that in your back, and also keep note that I've vetted all of the skills personally. If I haven't earned money from them myself, I know people that have, and I've studied the trend reports and know that these are the highest value skills to possibly learn in 2024 that are going to also last for a lifetime. A lot of internet gurus like to talk about different methods to make money online, like drop shipping, affiliate marketing, and these are great, but a lot of people that want to make money aren't necessarily entrepreneurial driven in the same way. There's a lot of variables that go into drop shipping, the running of the business, to maintenance, and a lot of people may enjoy those parts, but there's also a lot of factors that it's not a guarantee to make money in the same way that learning a high value skill is. Learning a high value skill is extremely straightforward and also works for people with a business sense, as we'll get onto a little bit later in this video, as well as for people without that entrepreneurial drive that just want to make money on their own, achieve time freedom, achieve location freedom, and achieve freedom in the type of work they're completing. So if you like that, make sure to subscribe. The latest data shows us that 38% of Americans are earning at least some of their money now from freelancing, and that's not even including agency owners. The average earnings is over $50 an hour, and that's including people treating the process very casually and all of the skills, not just the high value ones that I'm going over today. Through my high value skills specifically, I was able to average over $100 per hour, and after working and learning for a year and a half, significantly more than that. And not only will I be going over these skills, I'll also be sharing the best ways to learn each of them. And now this kicks us off with number one, which is marketing. Marketing is such a powerful skill for several reasons. First one is that every business needs marketing and a marketing plan. Any skill that has millions of potential business customers is going to be a skill with a lot of value and potential in it. You're tapping into a market with tons of customers with lots of money to spend. Second, it's directly tied with making money. With marketing, there's a lot of data points where you can track how much money the marketing efforts are generating. Scaling of the marketing is also directly proportional to the money that starts coming in a way that designing a website or a logo is not. If the results of your marketing efforts generate more revenue for the business than they cost, then they're likely going to want to keep giving you more and more money. On the same note, it's also extremely reoccurring. It's not a one-time cost for a business. They're going to consistently need to work and grow their marketing and adapt to the times. And that's where you come in. And third, there are so many different types of marketing that you can learn and master. There's Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads on the paid ad side of things. There's email marketing and snail mail marketing, that traditional mailbox mail, affiliate marketing, in-person and physical marketing, and then developing overarching marketing plans. Each of these are so different from one another. So this is where finding what you really connect with comes into play. Fourth, there are so many angles to approach it as a skill. Number one, marketing will be useful in any business that you start. Every business is going to need marketing, so if later down the line you're starting your own business, or even right now, marketing is a huge skill to help you find success along the way. Number two, if you aren't entrepreneurially inclined, it's a great skill to freelance with. You can find millions of businesses looking to freelance out their marketing needs. And number three, you can start an agency. SMMA agencies are all the rage nowadays, but there's also many different angles you can open an agency under, whether that's email marketing, physical marketing, or affiliate marketing, as we discussed even earlier. And best of all, you can start to learn any of these over the internet. And the first step would be to identify what you want to learn and niche down. As mentioned, there are tons of different ways to approach marketing, from doing paid ads to doing email marketing, and figuring out what you connect with and what you want to work with is the most important skill of all. Then number two, my first recommendation to learn is YouTube. There are so many resources out there taking you through platform by platform what you need to do to get set up with the campaigns and get used to the platform, and also find success on them just by searching whatever type of marketing you want to learn, and then tutorial. You can find hours and hours of guides on YouTube showing you every step of the way. And then third, I have a few book recommendations. Number one is going to be Launch. Launch by Jeff Walker is one of the best books on coming up with a launch strategy for you're starting a business or you're helping someone else launch their business or their product. There's a new edition that's updated for the modern era that talks about social media and all these new things that have come about in the past several years, and it's incredibly helpful, and the principles will work regardless of what type of marketing you're doing. It's a very great system that will work for you. It's a very easy to read book and a great system that will work whether you're using it yourself or you're applying it into others' businesses through freelancing or through an agency. My second book recommendation is the One-Page Marketing Plan. Again, a very concise book, but very, very detailed dense. That's an amazing book for learning all the ins and outs of marketing. And then number 3, $100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozi. If you aren't familiar with Alex Hormozi, I highly recommend you familiarize yourself. He's putting out so much content on YouTube for free involving all these skills. I would check out his YouTube channel, but his book $100 Million Leads is specifically about marketing and leads and advertising. And this is a book where you can learn these principles, all of the different types of advertising, and learn the summary, learn the overarching beliefs that drive them, and really drive them in from there. So those are my 3 book recommendations. If you're looking to get into marketing, I highly recommend you check them out. And this moves us on to skill number 2, which is sales. Sales, again, is a universal skill. Every business needs to sell. So once again, a common theme amongst these high value skills is there's a ton of money coming into it from businesses. And also second, it is directly tied to making money. It's the most direct you can get. Did you make the sale or not? And how much was it worth? There are still several different types of sales to learn. Phone sales is what you might typically think of, but there are also others like email sales, in-person sales, or going over broad sales strategies for a business. And not only that, there's also many ways to make money from it. Number 1, it will be useful in any business that you start. You're going to need to sell a product or a service or something, and learning the skill is one of the most valuable things you can learn and apply into your own business. And number 2, if you aren't entrepreneurially inclined, commission-based jobs, skilled salespeople are always in demand. So if you learn the skill, if you get good, you will always be in demand for a job like that. And number 3, you can start an agency. Oftentimes teams outsource their sales strategy to agencies to handle it for them, and you can start that agency and be the heads of it. Sales is a worst case skill to fall back. Alex Hormozi said in one of his videos, by learning sales, he always knew that worst case, because he knew sales, and he could fall back on working in a car dealership and starting $100,000 a year, and that was his backup plan, which is pretty decent backup plan. Now for learning sales, my number 1 recommendation again is YouTube. There's so much content out there on YouTube for learning all sorts of elements on sales that you can really hammer home. There's lots of people on YouTube, from Alex Hormozi again to Grant Cardone, from hundreds of other creators who can put their angles on it from their experience selling. There's also a couple books that have been very valuable to me. Number 1 being The Little Red Book of Selling. It's become a very classic book across the industry because it covers all the principles and it's very updated, and these principles never die, and it's a very concise book but goes over everything you need to know. The second book is Never Split the Difference, which is a great book on negotiation, which is a huge piece of learning and getting good at sales. And my third recommendation for a book is The Ultimate Sales Machine. These 3 books will teach you a lot of the principles, but third, the biggest thing of all to learn sales and get good at it is get practice, whether that means taking a sales job and learning the fundamentals and working your way up until you get good. Sales is a practice heavy skill. That means you'll learn the most just from getting in the weeds and practicing, actually interacting with customers. And there's plenty of entry commission-based sales jobs where you can get involved with and start making sales and earning money from that, where you can start trying to make sales and learning as you go and learning how to get better at. My third high value skill is funnel building / engineering. Basically put, an internet funnel is a series of web pages that guides visitors through a series of steps to a specific goal or action. And usually that goal or action is making a purchase. Now, noticing a common trend here, these high value skills are for the most part, number 1, tied to making money, and number 2, specifically for businesses, and number 3, businesses have budgeted money for these things, and they can easily see the results. Funnels, especially in the internet age, are businesses' lifelines. They need their funnels to work in order for customers to come through, and even a small percentage change in part of the funnel can be a huge difference in the results.
Closing 20% of that 100 people that buy the product to 32, for a net savings of going from 20% of revenue to 9%.
Especially in the ever-changing climate, businesses are always looking to improve and update their funnels and make them better. So this leads us to a few different areas you can learn. These could be funnel mechanics, funnel design, funnel analysis and improvement, building web pages and systems, and Zapier and automations. And just like the others, funnel building is a useful skill because it will always be in demand for businesses, as they will always need a funnel. So one method would be you could freelance the skill to businesses that are in need. But also on top of that, if you ever start your own business, you're going to need a good funnel, and these skills will help you out tremendously. And there are also plenty of agencies out there that specialize in just this, and plenty of businesses seek them out. So starting an agency is another great option. My number one resources for starting to learn how to create funnels would be YouTube. A lot of creators are very generous in how they'll share exactly how they did their funnel, how they created it, and what exactly a funnel is, and how you can think about building one. But another great place to check out is ClickFunnels. Now, ClickFunnels is a platform where you can build an online funnel for your business, and a lot of businesses and entrepreneurs use ClickFunnels to build it, but they also have a ton of resources on the site giving education to how to build a good funnel, so you can learn the fundamentals of it too, and there's a lot of great resources on there. And on that note, the founder of ClickFunnels, Russell Brunson, has also written 2 books which are incredibly good on building funnels, and those would be Funnel Secrets and Traffic Secrets. These 2 books will teach you all the principles of what a funnel is, how to make a good one, and how to optimize a funnel and really dive in those principles. That's a great starting place. Again, learning how to create a funnel is super necessary, especially in the e-commerce world, but even in the physical world too. I've worked with several businesses. One of the first businesses I started was in high school. I would work with local businesses and create funnels for them to engage customers to become return customers. And one of these businesses was a car wash where we would follow up after several weeks. Customers that would come in, the funnel was we'd call them up and then send them a coupon from there where they could come back and get a discount on their second car wash. There's so many principles to learn with funnels. I highly recommend checking it out and figuring out if this connects with you. Now, all of this here moves us on to number 4, which leads us to storytelling and brand voice. People don't buy brands, they buy stories. Now, this is a very powerful quote. For instance, people buy apples, think different. They buy Nikes, just do it. And they buy Harley Davidson's aggressive and confident nature. And if you're a good brand, you're creating your own unique voice, crafting description for products, for emails, for PR campaigns, and beyond. These brands aren't created haphazardly overnight. There's work behind it. And that's where you can come in, specifically if you enjoy writing. Every brand needs a voice to be created, to be written in, and not everyone is a natural writer. So lots of businesses outsource the work to freelancers, to agencies, which makes storytelling and brand voice creation a high value skill. Now, there's a lot of different avenues to approach this in, but the best way to think about this is how can you write in a way that provides businesses value? And this includes email writing, content creation, product descriptions, and creating brand guidelines. All of these are high value skills that you can either freelance, you can create an agency for, or many brands are hiring writers to be a part of their business, or at least hiring contractors out to work with them for extended periods of time. Now, there's a lot of resources that you can turn to learn writing in brand voice and writing for brands. Number 1 is a book called Building a Story Brand. This is the quintessential book for getting involved with this skill. The book is very well written and describes a lot of these things that I've just talked about. How when customers are shopping, they're really buying the story. They're not buying the brand. And by building a story brand, you're interlocking these two together to create compelling stories that people want to buy. This is super useful if you're ever launching your own brand, of knowing how to create a compelling brand and story behind it, but also when you're working with other brands, so you can constantly identify them when they're around you and how you can create them on your own for new products that are existing and how you can connect those with customers. Another great book is called Purple Cow. It's going to be another great one to help your brand or the brand you're working for stand out. And number 3 would just be improving your writing skills, and however you find best to do that. Writing is not my forte, so I'm not going to be able to give you the best recommendations, but however you think best to improve your writing skills, whether that's writing exercises, writing drills, doing a course online, there's plenty of options to improve your writing, get better at it, and combine that writing skill with those brand elements. Now, my 5th skill I'm going over today is e-commerce management. Over 15% of all sales in the US happen online now, and e-commerce is growing like crazy year over year. And if you're starting a new business, the internet is definitely the place to go. And if you're a legacy business, you better get on the internet or risk falling behind. This is where you come in. E-commerce tools are very different from what's come before in the physical world, specifically for legacy brands that are used to something else, or the older business audience just trying to break into the online market. It can be a challenge and get the hang of the tools. And this includes Shopify setup and maintenance, other e-commerce platforms, building an inventory management system, Amazon integrations, Google Shop, YouTube Shop, and TikTok Shop integrations, and 3PL and logistics integrations. All of these are necessary for the world of e-commerce, and if you master any of them, there will be a line of less technologically advanced people willing to pay you in order to tap into the audience on one of those platforms. If you are a business owner and you run a successful in-person brand that customers love, making great profit, and the only thing stopping you from making a killing online is figuring out how to operate Shopify or an Amazon account, you would be willing to pay a lot of money to make that happen. And that's the case over and over again. This can be in form of freelance services, an agency, or consulting-based services. And as mentioned, e-commerce is the place where business is now happening and growing. So if you're looking to launch your business, learning e-commerce management skills are incredibly valuable, as you'll need to have them in order to succeed as a business today. YouTube is by far the best resource for e-commerce management. There are hundreds of tutorial guides on every element, and as always, hands-on experience is even better. Now, as mentioned at the beginning, figure out which one of these skills you resonate with the most. The most important thing to finding success with this is you enjoy doing it. And there's so many different ways to approach each. You're sure to find one. And even better, master more than 1, 2, 3, 4, or even all 5 for the complete modern day skill set to help you succeed in life no matter what. The most successful people I know say that they could lose everything and make it back again, but because those skills in the brain are the most important things. Those 5 are the highest value skills to learn in 2024 that will help you in every element of your life. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time.